Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia, and today we're going to be taking a closer look into the character of Himiko Toga from the My Hero Academia anime series. And we're going to kind of speculate and see if we can uncover some of the themes surrounding Toga's character throughout the series. And then once we've done that, I'll give you my thoughts on the character herself. Now, this video is basically me taking information that I've been able to find from both the manga and the anime and other resources and trying to come up with a justification for a theme that this character could be based on. She could just generally be crazy and a psychotic female character, which, that's fine. However, there might be something more deeper to her character, and in this video we're going to be going over that and trying to see if we can uncover it. Now, like I said, this will be based on stuff that I have found, so you may or may not agree. That's fine, just let me know in the comments what you think. Now, this video will contain spoilers from the manga, I do have to say that, as the anime has only shown us glimpses of Toga's backstory. And in order to get more information and a better understanding from Toga's character, I need to talk about some stuff from the manga that will help explain a few things. So then, personality-wise, she's a very gleeful, charismatic character. So she's very jolly, she's carefree, and she loves enjoying herself, and she wants to enjoy life to the fullest. In a sense, she's a little bit, I want to say immature, but I want to also say innocent at the same time. But don't let that fool you, as she's seen to be a girl who loves all things bloody and stainy. Due to her personality, is also, she expresses this happy, jolly, almost psychotic vibe from her character, and she gets her kicks and thrills from blood, from gore, from hacking and slashing at her enemies. She loves it. She's highly sadistic and inconsiderate. These are traits from her character that were shown in the battle against Uraraka. Like I said, she gets her kicks and thrills from taking blood from other people. We've seen this over and over again from her character, from both the anime and the manga perspective. And she also doesn't mind causing other people pain. And if I'm honest with you, look at her facial expressions when she does it. A little bit sexual. Maybe. She gets off on it, let's just say that much. So, what could Himiko Toga's theme be? Yes, she's a sadist. A sadist? Didn't I say pronounce it? And maybe a bit of a psycho. But what if I said that Himiko Toga might have a form of personality disorder? And this actually comes from her quirk. So, why do I think this? What are some of the signs that are very common with those who have a personality disorder? So some people with a personality disorder may appear withdrawn. No, she's not that. She's pretty out there. Some are dramatic and emotional. She's definitely those. And others odd and eccentric. And one thing they have in common is that their symptoms are severe enough to affect many different areas in life. And we see that. The key factors here are dramatic, emotional, odd, and sadistic. Those are personality traits that Toga has shown throughout the show over and over again. I mean, look at this face. I mean, come on. It's adorable, but it's also quite scary. And, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah. So, what I'll be doing is I'll be going over these kind of key factors and giving you some examples and reasons as to why I believe so. But before I do that, it's also worth noting that some people with personality disorder often have trouble sustaining work or forming positive relationship with other people. And in some cases, are viewed as different because of their behaviour. And Toga definitely fits that description. As stated in the manga, she's looked at with disdain and discussed by her classmates and her parents, as a result of her personality being slightly twisted from her quirk and her fascination with blood. So, I'm not going to show it because if you haven't read the manga yet, it'd be a big spoiler. However, I'm going to tell you it, so have fun with that. Anyway, so basically, when she's younger, we see a little Toga and she's holding a dead bird and she can't bring it back. But after tasting the blood, she gets really happy and passionate and jolly. So she wants to share it with her parents. So she goes, "Look, it's a bird," and smiles and gives that crazy, creepy grin that she has. That's also adorable but crazy. And, yeah. So her parents kind of freak out. And then we see later on that she develops more kind of feelings of affection towards a certain classmate. And those results are pretty serious and bad. And that also results in people, looking at her differently and causing them to kind of distance themselves from her. So she's not had an easy childhood. And again, like I said, it comes from, the fact that she loves the look and taste of blood. She's a character that doesn't mind drinking it. She stated numerous times that if she drinks a cup full of blood, she can turn into someone for a day. Most people would be very scared of drinking someone else's blood, but she seems to thrive on it. She seems to really enjoy it. Now, she does often, get confused, and like I said, with the whole sharing of her joy from finding this bird, maybe she just doesn't know. Maybe it's just, her not understanding as a young child. But since she finds it fun, she's going to carry on doing it. So this is where the sort of the innocence kind of comes into play, because where it started at such a young age, it kind of just follows her through, and no one's actually explaining or telling her why it's wrong. So when she has a fight, this is still linking to her kind of trouble fitting in with others and showing her joy and affection in weird ways. When in a fight and she's slashing up her opponent, she's got that grin on her face. She's happy. She loves injecting or dijecting, basically taking blood from others. And we've seen this with Ochaku. We've seen this with Deku. She also did it with Kami. And that is basically a trait that, again, links to a personality disorder to some extent. So then, let's look at those traits that I mentioned. Dramatic. Most of the ways that we've seen this from Toga comes from her fights or her general, or generally just including herself into a plan. She seems to carry herself with a lot of flair and, she just expresses her excitement and joy of herself a lot. When it comes to seeing Toga on screen, I don't think we've ever seen her with a frown on her face. And dramatic-wise can be anything from body language to posture to the way she says something and does something. So, for example, when you see her walk up to her enemies and she's having fun and doing what she's doing, she's always kind of flopping her arms about and skipping almost. You can classify that as being a bit dramatic. With her expressions, they are very dramatic. And some of the words and phrases that she says when talking about herself in the manga later on does become dramatic and, it helps reinforce what she's saying. So we know that whenever we see Toga on screen, it's going to be fun and enjoyable to see just about anything that comes from her. Emotional. So she is a very emotional character. I mentioned a lot about joy and affection from her character. And yes, we've seen these countless of times. And it's difficult for her to control emotions when displaying them sometimes. And it comes across as a bit bizarre or over the top. She wants to show the emotions of love and affection throughout the show. Mostly, this is when linking to Midoriya or Stain. And you could also say Uraraka at some point as well. Because she's always talking about wanting to, turn into them, be them. For her, she respects them a lot, and she loves them a lot, and enjoys them a lot, and is happier for them, and to see them. And she's intrigued by them as well. All of these are emotions that, you can link to her character and the way she expresses herself. Again, it's expressed in a dramatic way that makes a character lovable, yet crazy, yet someone you just want to kind of see more of. When she's talking about staying later on, she joins the, League of Villains and says, talks about Stain, and she's like, she loves Stain's ideals so much that she says she wants to become Stain. And we're left thinking at that point, what's she mean by that? Because we hadn't seen her quirk. And when she takes on the form of somebody else, that's her showing her appreciation and her joy and a happiness of that, and fondness even of that person. And let's not forget, she also really likes Midoriya a lot, as she's seen using her quirk when she becomes Kami to track down Deku in the exam and fights against him. Now, that might be a plan of hers to basically, get the blood of Deku, because we know that she does. However, it looked like Shigaraki didn't know anything about this. So we can take from that this is purely Toga's desire. She wanted to get Midoriya's blood so she can become him. Much like she took Ochaku's blood, Uraraka, whatever you want to call her, and, she wants to use that and become her for a bit. Because to her, she does want to be slightly normal. And to look like somebody else and to fit into other places, that's something she can do, because she looks like somebody else, but she can't do looking like herself because of the way people look at her. Again, these two, the emotional and dramatic, are two things that are linked with a personality disorder. So let's look at the other one, odd and eccentric. Well, it's safe to say that Toga is a bit on the odd side. She's very hyperactive, carefree, and yes, she's a bit of a psychopath. Her hobbies aren't what you would call normal in modern day society. So for that reason, you can label her as odd. I mean, okay, I'm someone who hates the phrase, just act normal, because you can't define the word normal. Normal is different for everybody. But obviously, for Toga's character, she feels like an outcast. And it's because of her odd and eccentric personality that people view her as someone they don't want to have near, which basically proves the point that she is odd and eccentric. Again, like I said, linking to her hobbies and the way she goes about doing things, left to wonder. And to explain this, there is a time where she's introducing herself on screen. Now let's have a look at that. So, she's displaying herself on screen like this. She goes, I can transform into somebody by taking their blood, and the blood I take also becomes my energy, so the length of the transformation time is my absorption rate varies upon the proportion to that. I can go about a day with 1 cup, and if I drink a lot of different people's blood at once, it means I can transform into them. Now, you're probably thinking, why bring this bit up? Well, look at her expression and look at her body language. She's very excited, she's very happy at introducing herself and telling others about her quirk. And honestly, I don't like using the word normal, but if a semi-normal person had the same quirk as her, they probably would be very quiet and keep it to themselves. They wouldn't be going, look at me, see, I can do this, I can do that. And most people probably wouldn't want to drink anyone else's blood let alone a whole cupful or even more, or multiple bloods at the same time. Unless, they're a vampire, or, well, I guess Toga in this case. So you see my point. That part there just reinforces the fact that you can label her as odd and eccentric. Another thing about Toga's personality that you can somewhat link to a personality disorder is the fact that in the manga she shows off something that I absolutely do love. And that would be the fact that she has a different perspective of the word normal. So we take a look at that. She says, she's getting questioned by someone who's fighting her, and she says, "But I am living normal too." Now, bear in mind, this just means that she basically views herself as normal, and that's okay. And then she kind of, she kind of expresses herself that way. But is that a direct correlation of a quirk? Because we've seen how quirks can alter a person's appearance. You see Tokoyami, Mount Lady, I guess, to some extent. You've got tons of people. Froppy, they probably were human until their quirk developed, and then, they took on their traits. So what's to say that a quirk can't affect someone's personality? And altering someone's personality would, in fact, view eschew their vision of the word normal in terms of living normally. As well as the fact is, you can link that sentence to her past as well, about people shunting her out and, not wanting to talk to her, avoiding her, and she's just trying to make best of the situation. But let's look at her outfit as well. Her appearance, again, I said that it could be innocence, and it could be a desire to want something normal or something similar to that. And I also like the fact, and we know this because look, she always wears a school uniform. And she is of age to be at school, but thanks to the world being the way that it is in My Hero Academia, she's unable to again function in society and create positive relationships with other people. So that again links back to a personality disorder where it states that, they find fitting in, having a job, very difficult. I'd imagine job and school would be the same thing because you're surrounded by other people that are primarily a lot more capable and, well off, I suppose, than you are. Not that if you have a personality disorder, you're bad. That's not what I'm saying. But you do understand what I mean. Overall, I think there are a few signs that could prove that she does in fact have a personality disorder. Or she might just be a crazy chick and she loves just the weird stuff, which that's cool too. And I like that, I guess. I don't mind if women are slightly crazy around me. Or, a sadist. And like I said, in the end, it's up to you to decide what you wish to believe in terms of the character of Himiko Toga. And this video, again, was just to kind of shed light on maybe another theme that you might have missed over or skipped. I honestly believe that it's a case of all three, mixed together. I believe that she does have some form of a personality disorder. I wouldn't be making this video otherwise. I believe she may, in fact, just be a psycho. She may actually be innocent. I guess I'm just going to say 4 now, even though I said all 3. But anyway, she may also be a bit sadistic. But I love the character of Himiko Toga for that reason, because her personality is just amazing. I love the fact that she's so jolly despite her situation and despite everything she's gone through. I think that's amazing. And she's very easily one of my top 10 favourite female characters in anime. And again, like I said, that's mostly due to her personality, and I do like her design as well. I think there's a lot more to Toga's character that we've yet to uncover, and I'm very interested to see going forward. So, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed. It's a slightly different video than what I've done in the past on my channel, and it's something I want to look into for more characters. So if you do like it, hit the like button. If you don't like it, describe. Well, no, that's bad. Don't do that. Dislike the video, but please let me know how I can improve for the next video. Other than that, any feedback is appreciated. Subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me. And until next time, I hope you'll have an amazing day, and I'll be catching you later. Goodbye for now.